Now, former DA leader and Western Cape Premier Helen Zille is set to make a comeback in the party's leadership structure. Zille has announced that she intends to contest for the position of the DA Federal Executive Chairperson position. She now joins us on the line to tell us why she's doing this. Ms. Zille, thanks very much for joining us. Why aren't you continuing with your work at the Institute of Race Relations? It's much calmer and a simpler life than going back into this pit.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for asking the very important question. But I really am enjoying my life currently, doing a lot of media work and other things and playing with my grandchildren. So I really have loved that. But the DA is far too important for South Africa and certainly very, very close to my heart, having spent much of my adult life working to build it, to walk away now. The party has been through some very serious trauma and turmoil recently, and I want to play a support role, and let me emphasize a support role in helping the leadership stabilize the party and get us back on track.
But federal chair is not a support position. It's right at the forefront of it all.
No, the chairman of the Federal Council and the Federal Executive is a support position. It's certainly not a substitute leader. It is the place where the strings come together in its current format to hold all the different structures, systems of the party to make sure they are functioning properly. And so it's quite different from the political leadership of the party.
But you're Helen Zille. I mean, there's no ways you can come into this and be a shadow figure. Your personality and your presence will be felt. You'll be influential.
Well, Peter, yes, it is an influential position. There's no question about that. But you'd be surprised how I can play a role behind the scenes. I don't have to be the bride at every wedding and the corpse at every funeral.
All right, so what do you make of what's been happening in the past few months? A lot of people were saying that this party is in self-destruct mode.
Well, it certainly hit a very deep series of speed bumps, if I can put it that way. And that does happen from time to time in the life cycle of political parties. The question is, can you stabilize? Can you keep control of the vehicle? And can you course correct? And of course, that is the big question for the DA. And I'd like to put a lot of effort into trying to support that effort.
How do you think you'll be able to help?
Well, I'm good at politics. I understand politics at every level, at local government level, at provincial level, at national level. I also understand management and administration in a political context very well. And so I am very committed to democracy in South Africa and want to put all my experience and knowledge gathered over many decades to good use to build the DA, which means building South Africa's democracy.
Some people might say that what the DA needs is reinvention, but you coming back isn't reinvention though, is it?
Well, it can certainly be seen any way one likes, but I'm certainly reinventing myself in quite a different role. I was the leader. This is a completely different kind of role. I understand the difference between the roles, and I'll be bringing my particular attributes if I win election, which is certainly no foregone conclusion. If I win election, I'll be bringing my attributes to being the chairperson, which is quite a different role from the leader, and in fact the chairperson has to support the leader.
All right, and will Mmusi Maimane be that leader?
Well, that's certainly not for me to decide. We're not having a leadership election this coming Federal Council. That is only for the chair of the Federal Council, which is the position I've put my hat in the ring for. And a leader can only be elected at a Congress because it's a much more important, influential position.
All right. Helen Zille, thanks very much indeed for joining us on the line. And no doubt we'll be chatting to you quite a bit more in the coming days. Thank you so much indeed. That was Helen Zille, who's put her hand up once again to join the leadership ranks of the DA as the chairperson of the Federal Council. That's Helen Zille joining us on the line.